I don't like this top. There goes my clip. Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be a this or that video, and we are going to be going over Lattafa Khamrah with Kilian's Angel Share. And I had mentioned that I was going to be doing this video and several other videos, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So first we're gonna go over the packaging. Here is Khamrah by Lattafa, and this is the 100 ml bottle, and it comes with kind of a twisty top, which I've already broke because it's so hard to open. People say just twist it and lift. If I'm not careful, the ring comes off, so I will say I'm not crazy about that. It's gonna happen again, but I gotta do it. So I'm gonna try not to put the top tight on here because I've already, this metal part keeps coming up. Anyways, so I've already had the fragrances. I have Khamrah on this side. I'm gonna just refresh, and then I have Angel Share on this side. And both of these fragrances are definitely in the same family, but I do think they're different. And here is the Angel Share bottle, which I do prefer. I will say that this is overpriced, and this is a 50 ml. So this, when my mom got it for me for my birthday, retailed for $195, and recently fragrances have gone up on the designer and the niche side. I've seen people complain about designer fragrances going up, but everything is going up. Inflation is everywhere. Gas, cars, houses, everything is going up, including this. I believe on the site, the Kilian site, it's $220. And on the Sephora site, I think now it's $210. So this is definitely more expensive. And this for 100 ml, I think when it first came out, people could get it under 40. Now, when I say people, I mean in the US. When I say prices, it's prices that we get it here in the States. This you could pick up for under 40. Then it was under 50. And then Stephanie, she's another fragrance YouTuber, and Amanda Marie, I think it was, they said that this one started going up. So I was able to get this right under 60. So I feel like it's gonna keep going up the more popular it gets. Kind of like Casablanca. When I first picked up Casablanca by Swiss Arabian, I got it for 35 bucks. And then I saw that it got up to like 60, 70. Now I only see it on Amazon and on eBay. So, you know, you gotta kind of shop with caution. And this is supposed to be, I don't know if they actually call it like a clone or a dupe, but judging by the bottle, you kind of get that feeling that that's what they're going for, that this is supposed to be a dupe. Now, I will say that if you are looking for a true dupe, you might be a little disappointed because I don't find them to be dupes. They definitely are their own thing, their own scent. They just fall in the same kind of scent family, and they have similarities. But if you want a true dupe clone of Angel Share, I would say check out Alexandria's Brooklyn's Fragrance Lover. I have that one. I purchased that one myself. This one was a gift from my mom, and they are pretty much the same. What I did notice was Brooklyn Fragrance Lover was more like strong and beastly, but this one's actually gotten pretty strong with time. So I have to revisit that one to see if that one's even gotten stronger. But other than that, they smell very, very similar. I would just say that the performance on that one was a little bit more like loud. So we'll go over the accords, the notes, and then I'll go through the development of the fragrances. Because to me, again, they have similarities when you're smelling them in the air, but they're different. I actually prefer one over the other. We're gonna start off with Khamrah. This fragrance is described as sweet vanilla, amber, warm, spicy, cinnamon, and woody. So this has top notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, bergamot, middle notes of dates, praline, tuberose, and then base notes of vanilla, tonka bean, myrrh, benzoin, akigala wood, and amber wood. Now I will say, before I get into the fragrance, I don't get a lot of the woody and resinous notes, which I'm hoping to pick up later. For me, this is like an apple pie, and then it dries down to a buttery vanilla kind of gourmand scent. Just kind of giving you a quick taste before I go through it. And then Angel Share, this is described as woody, warm, spicy, sweet, vanilla, cinnamon, amber, and powdery. And this has cognac, cinnamon, tonka bean, oak, praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. For me, these don't really open the same. When this fragrance opens, it does open up a little brighter, but I wouldn't be able to pick out bergamot. But this one does open up a little brighter, and I would say the cinnamon and the nutmeg in here are more like powdered cinnamon and nutmeg, kind of mixed in and a little bit almost more blended than in Angel Share. And I don't really get a booziness. I do see online a lot of people get a booziness that they get in Angel Share. I don't get that. I do get the cognac a lot in this one. This one opens up with like cinnamon, but think of like those cinnamon broomsticks. We actually have several around our house. It's a very strong boozy cinnamon opening. That's pretty much what I get. It's kind of like a boozy cinnamon liquor opening. And then as it starts to settle down, the cinnamon becomes more of a gourmand kind of cakey cinnamon, kind of like a Cinnabon, kind of like your cinnamon pretzel. And then I start to get mulled apple wine, kind of like spiked apple cider. It's the way that it's made, and it's warm and just boozy and apple. And there is no apple note, but it's in both. With this one, as this one dries down, I get more of an apple pie. And with the dates and that kind of apple, this one is more like when you think of an apple pie with those granulated chunks of sugar, that's what I get. It opens up kind of strong, and then they both kind of settle to this kind of apple scent. This one, I will say, I start to get the woody notes, and then this pretty much sits that way for a while. It's kind of like a boozy, mulled apple wine with kind of like a cinnamon gourmand feeling with the oak that comes in. I don't really get sandalwood, but there is something creamy about this one. And the vanilla in here isn't very strong to my nose. And then it just kind of settles like that. I wouldn't say it's linear. It's a very beautiful, kind of expensive scent. This one does change a little bit more. This one moves from that kind of apple pie to more like a vanilla, buttery vanilla cake. The apple goes away in this one. I don't know what it is that's giving apple in these fragrances, but I've heard of other people say the same thing, that they get something apple, but don't think like fruit. Think again like apple cider, apple pie. It's more of that kind of around the holiday apple scent. So this one starts to change. This one has different stages, I will say. I would say around maybe the 2-hour mark is when this one starts to get a little bit more vanilla. I still get the dates. It's very sugary. And then I start to get that tuberose, but it's like a buttery tuberose. I don't get any of the kind of resinous notes that are in here or any of the like woody notes, which I'm hoping to get later as this one sits, because this one got stronger after I had it for a year. Right now, this is very gourmand and very vanilla sweet. And I would say by the next day, I almost get kind of like a holiday vanilla candle. It's really nice and pretty, and for the price, I really enjoy layering with it, but I do prefer the scent of Angel Share. This is like kind of that cognac, again, mulled apple wine and kind of cinnamon, and then it's got the woody notes. This one is definitely my favorite, but the price is very different. So I do enjoy layering with this one because I love the apple pie that's in this one. Another fragrance that doesn't smell anything like this, but another one that was kind of like that apple pie was La Danza Liboulet. I'll pop in a photo here. That one got overly sweet. This one's sweet, but there's something in it. I think it's the cinnamon and the nutmeg and just the other spices that are blended really well that I'm just not getting very strong, that are keeping this from being, like that one made me nauseous. This one is very close to Angel Share, but this one leans more apple pie, and I think it just goes sexy with some of my other fragrances, and I prefer to wear this one on its own and not layer. So as of right now, I do enjoy having this one in my collection, especially now that it's during the holidays. I've been layering with it, but I would say that this one's still my favorite. And if you don't want to pay the high price tag, I know there are different inspiration houses that have kind of clone this one. Performance. Both of these perform really well. I would say they both perform similar. This is 8+ hours. I had said that this one has gotten stronger, and this is one that projects for the first 2-3 hours, and then it sits in a bubble, but it leaves a beautiful sillage. It leaves a beautiful scent trail. It's not one that I would say is like super heavy or thick, but it definitely, as you move around, you leave a gorgeous, intoxicating kind of trail. They both have very similar performance. They both last 8+ hours. I would just say this one develops a little faster and then kind of has that buttery vanilla base that I don't really care for anymore after the 4 or 5 hour mark, whereas this one pretty much stays that kind of boozy, kind of cognac, woody, warm, spicy fragrance pretty much through the life of the fragrance. So I do prefer Angel's Share, but this is a beautiful option for the price. It's especially a good one if you like more gourmand, or if you pick up more of those resins and the woody notes in the base. I don't pick them up yet. My skin really pulls on the praline, the vanilla, and the dates. All the sugary, sweet notes is what my skin just clings on to. And this one, I think if I start to pick up those notes, this is gonna be more neck and neck. But I like the booziness that I get in this one. Again, I saw online that some people get it. Our nose gets different things. So you could be one of those people that pick up the booziness and like those woody notes. So this is one I would still say check out, because it's definitely a good price. I mean, the packaging is stunning. I do prefer the round glass. And I do like that the cap is pretty sturdy. I just don't like that I can't take it off. Everyone keeps saying just twist and pull, but that does not work for me. And then sometimes the metal piece doesn't come off, and sometimes it does. It's been doing it more and more. So eventually this isn't gonna work anymore. So, but other than that, this is a really nice, sexy fragrance, and it's blended very, very beautifully. I will say that this one, when it opens, you get that blast of cinnamon, whereas here it's kind of blended nicely with the nutmeg. It's more like a cinnamon and nutmeg kind of powder, like when you're sprinkling it on top of like eggnog or something. That is my quick review on Khamrah by Lattafa and Kilian's Angel's Share. Let me know in the comments below, do you guys have any of these fragrances and what are your thoughts on them? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.